So, as much as us beekeepers try, we do not always prevent swarms. And what I have in the tree above me, about 35 feet up in the air, is a swarm from my top bar hive. I worked it the other day. I saw some swarm cells in it. It's a packed hive. I used some of those swarm cells in some of my nukes that I made the other day. And I also found a couple queenless ones, like one of the ones that I made from that cutout, the queen didn't make when they tried to make a new queen, or she went out and got eaten by something. So I put another queen in it, or put another swarm cell in it, so hopefully that queen will be successful. So I'm going to try to catch this swarm. It's much higher than my lateral go. So what I'm going to attempt to do is chop the limb that it's on and have it fall gently, so I can get the bees off of it. So we'll see. The swarm's been up there most of the day probably. I just got off work. We'll just see how this goes. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Alright, we are going to give this a try. It is up there. We're zoomed almost all the way in. So it's fairly small from here, but it's rounded at the bottom, so that's a way to tell that the queen is still in there. If it was more of an angle, more like a cone shape where it had a sharp bottom, a lot of times that indicates that there's no queen. So most swarms do, but that's just kind of something you want to keep an eye on with it being up there a long time. So here we go. So it's really hard to judge that distance. So what I think I'm going to try to do is do a pole with a bucket. I think that'll work out much better. That limb is really thick. I just can't get a good angle for it to fall where I can get it without possibly damaging the fence or the swarm, making them kind of go crazy, or damaging me. So another consideration. Alright, so this is my contraption I made. This bucket, trying to keep at the camera. So got some straps around the bucket, tied to a crepe myrtle, like 20-foot limb, and so this is what we're going to try to do. If it doesn't work, then you'll probably never see it on video. Alright, so I just got a small little scoop of that bucket, but the queen was in there. Didn't look like she was hurt. So my plan is, you see them fanning up here. My plan is to take this frame, once they get her pheromone on it, and put that in the bucket and just let it sit up there and see if the ones in the tree still will crawl onto it. Because right now, up here, the fanning, they're just spreading that pheromone everywhere. So like I said, once they get it on this frame really well, this frame with foundation, I'm gonna use this up in the tree. See that? Yeah, her pheromone will be all over that. So I'll just give them a second to chill out, and I will tap them off that and just put it in that bucket empty. And like I said, I'm hoping that they'll move over into that. Alright, so I got most of the bees put in there, most of the rest of them. It's kind of a smaller swarm, we'll see how it goes. Got them fanning. Gonna see them doing some fanning stuff there, letting them know that the queen's in there. So I'm gonna give it till tonight for them to all get inside the hive. And then I'm gonna move it to the new stand, probably seal it up for a day, and just see how it goes. So if I have to strengthen them up, I can. I always have the option to do that, but we'll see. So I'm trying to be quiet. The girls are sleeping. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the hive on the hive stand and then see where it goes. Probably seal it up so they can't get out for a day or two. Alright, so here is the swarm I caught Monday. It is now Wednesday afternoon. I've had them locked up. You can see a few of them found their way to get out right here. So at this point, if they're gonna swarm, they're probably gonna swarm again. So I'm coming here to open them up. So I just put that painter's tape around just to kind of ensure that they wouldn't get out when I did not want them to. But they're ready to come out because they've been locked up in there, they've been cooped up. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm also gonna let the queen out. So the queen, I'm trying to move this to one side without squishing any bees. There they go. So the queen has been in a queen cage and she's still in there. And we'll get a sense for how these guys want to act pretty quick. This looks like it's probably just cleansing flights or orientation flights to the new home. Like I said, they've been cooped up in here for a while, and before that they were a swarm. So it's all a drone, just making sure that wasn't the queen somehow got out of her cage. So I'm going to open it up, see what we got, and refill it. So a good sign here is that they are building wax in the new hive without the queen. So hopefully that'll show like, hey, you know, even though it's not quite our home or the home we chose, we're still completely comfortable living here. All right. So I see the queen, she's straight down there. Does not look like we had any wax building, so this might be a sign that they are going to leave. So I got nothing, got a nada. What I was looking for was festooning on the comb themselves, but I don't see any of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna let another day, let that queen stay caged up, because if they go anywhere, I don't want the queen pheromone to be on that limb for very long. Plus she's fine there. So no big rush on my part. I'd rather not have a swarm move into somebody's house that is going to be troublesome for them. So that is my plan, just to kind of leave it be and see how we go from there in a few days. So I'm in the bee yard again today. This is that swarm I captured last week. I'm just gonna get in there, check it out, see how they're doing. There is some movement coming in and out. I know the old queen is in here. We're just gonna see how it's going and make sure that they are being fed. So, gonna fill up that jar. Alright, this was an old drawn frame. Looks like they're starting to build out a little bit on it. There's not a whole lot of bees in this hive. I'm gonna set that over here. But the swarm was really small. I'm just giving it plenty of time to expand out. I did give them a frame of honey, which I'm about to pull, just to get them started off well. Right. So it looks like they've capped that. It's really heavy. I don't want to mess with it too much. They've been filling it up too. I don't see any larvae or anything in this. So this is just purely the honey. Don't know if you can see. Just had a flash of the queen. A little bit risky. She is right there. So here's the queen. She's looking for something to lay in. I don't see a lot of evidence that she has laid in this. So let's slide this back down in here. I do want to pull this up. Looks like they have built something. I'm holding that up on the sunlight, trying to see if there are eggs. All right. I don't see any at this point in here. Still, like I said, a smaller swarm. I could, and I might put in another frame in here, just to give the queen enough room to lay. They've started building a little bit on the next one. Here, a little tiny bit. Just peeking in there just to see if there's anything they got started, and I don't see it. So I'm gonna put that down. And they also have this. So I'm gonna put that back in there. Nothing in here. All right. And I'm gonna let them keep going. I'm gonna see how they do. It's warming up. There's enough bees in there to do something. They got bees going in and out. They have all stages of bees. So I might check next week, and if something's not going on, like if there's a clearly diminishing of bees, I can either take this queen out and put her in another one, or I can add capped brood that's just about to hatch out in here, so when it hatches out, they'll all be used to that queen's pheromone. Alright, so appreciate you guys watching another video. That was just kind of an experience I had with the swarm. They usually turn out a little bit better, but it wasn't too bad. Swarms this year seem to have been going up a lot higher for me. I've helped had a friend a couple times, and they're always way up in the tree. It's always nicer when they're a lot lower. But just reminder, at 250 subscribers, I'm gonna give away, do a random drawing and give away a nuke. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share this with anybody that wants to keep bees or interested in farming. Hope to make these videos useful. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. And again, just like I said, I appreciate you guys watching. Love y'all. Have a great one.